I went home, I got to say goodbye to her. I showed her a video of the race and she was kind of out of it on morphine, but she did say, she literally said, like, I wish I could see you in the Olympics or something like that, like race in the Olympics or be in the Olympics or something. And so from that moment on, it was just like, I'm making this team. Like, I can't not make this team. You know what I mean? It's like literally my mom's dying wish, and she's the one who got me into the sport. And so weirdly, like, at that point, like therapy wasn't really talked about as much. And also, I kind of like tried a little bit, but frankly, I feel like it was like opening Pandora's box where I was like, I've got this figured out. Let's not let everything out. So rowing was kind of like the way I dealt with it, to be honest. Like I was back training with the team 2 weeks later and just like had a huge fire underneath me. And so I broke my ribs a couple times. I raced in the 2011 World Championships with a broken rib. That was like also my best year. Tom told me, I don't know if this is true, that I broke the American erg record at that moment. Obviously, it's been way shattered at this point, but I thought I was going to double up. You get that ego when you're like in that position where it's like, oh, should I do the pair M8 or just the pair? And like, then I got injured and it's like, I'm lucky enough to even be going. So it's funny how, you get that ego and then it's like, uh, and then come 2012, I was injured. I broke my rib again and I was out of the boat for 15 weeks and I was a mess. Like I was training like 3 times a day. I was like in the elliptical at Gold's Gym and then I was trying to do Bikram yoga and then I was running and then I was on the bike. And so no wonder it took me so freaking long to heal. And Tom at one point called me into his office and he was like, that like, it's just the Olympics. And I'm like, I just remember him saying that and I like couldn't I'm like, I don't understand what you mean. Well, yeah, that's everything. So I think for me, it just honestly was like about my mom and it became something that was bigger than myself. And I can get into like, I think trying to train after I kind of lost the fire a little bit. There was this cool moment in London, which I'm happy to talk about that kind of like, I don't know, is a little bit woo woo, but amazing. So, yeah, my experience was it was tough. It was more survival mode. Looking back, I think like, I'm sure I didn't handle certain situations well. I think training at that level is super selfish. And I don't mean that in like a negative way per se. I just mean literally only focus on yourself. I think, you
Mhm.
become super one dimensional. So it's like amazing. What a privilege to be able to focus on one thing and do it as well as you possibly can and only do that thing. Like, when else in your life do you ever get to do that? Even in like school, never. But at the same time, I think it does kind of make you really one dimensional. And I noticed that the women who stuck around for longer and longer just became these like really bitter, not great leaders, and not all of them. And I don't mean to disparage most of the people, but I just like didn't want to be that. I wanted to be, I thought there was, and it was a toxic time in a lot of ways. And I still have a ton of respect for those women. And I refuse to like hold any grudges or let any of that stick with me. Cause I think I told you this, Dan, but one of the things that I love so much and about what I see like certain areas of the men's team doing at the Charles, whether it's like you guys are going out and then race the next day, like none of that exists on the women's side. And I want to change that because I think it's bullshit. I think we're like conditioned to hate each other. And starting in the
Wow.
90s, even.